FEMA contractors ordered to stand down after security threats, messages show. So I'm currently working as a contractor for Duke Energy in the Asheville area. I am also credentialed with FEMA, although I am not currently working in that capacity. The amount of insane shit I have heard being said about FEMA by people I've come across here is insane. Full-on psycho conspiracy shit being taken as fact and acted upon. All stated to me as one of the good ones, not realizing that the only reason I am here with Duke and not FEMA is because the company I work for received a request from Duke First Edit. I should mention too, at least once a day I or one of the teams I work with is stopped and harassed by residents whom have been whipped into a frenzy with unsubstantiated stories of home invaders posing as utility inspectors. I've been working 16-hour days, 7 days a week since September 27th, and I don't know how much more I can take out here. My head can't get around this. People are hunting the emergency relief workers. From other news articles it seems as though there's a bunch of lies and false rumors being circulated. This is causing a pitchfork mob. North Carolina officials working to dispel Helena rumors as misinformation spreads. https www.wbtv.com/2024/10/07/NC-officials-working-dispel-Helena-rumors-misinformation-spreads/. And this links to a FEMA site to directly address those rumors. https www.fema.gov/disaster/current/hurricane-helena/rumor-response. Watch them get criticized for this by the same politicians and pundits who are largely responsible for inspiring the threats. These morons politicized a viral pandemic and now are doing the same to the fucking weather. What's next? The tides? The seasons? The Democrats make it start getting colder and the days shorter right before Election Day. Election interference. Quote, "The saddest part is that it is poor education and poor parenting creating a population of people so easily manipulated. Of course, in a way, we have helped create a hurricane machine, but it's called climate change and we have no control over it. So armed militias can operate in disaster zones and hunt federal emergency responders seemingly without repercussion? While I understand, to some extent, the reluctance to engage these enemy combatants with deadly force, allowing them to basically disrupt relief operations will have tragic consequences for affected civilians while enabling and emboldening what is effectively a growing insurrection. Anyone hunting federal responders or any other type of emergency responder should be immediately tracked down by police or FBI and locked up. Can you imagine what would happen to someone trying to hunt down a sovereign sheriff or one of their deputies? They would probably never be heard from alive again. And very few people would argue against deadly force being used against someone hunting down law enforcement. This is seriously boggling. Hey, here's an idea. Maybe the _National Guard should fucking **** guard *** the _federal _workers. And with as much force and law enforcement authority as necessary to deter any more fucking wingnuts from trying that shit again. Why the fuck is this kind of thing being allowed to happen? Every time we back down to extremists, it will encourage more threats. Sooner or later we will either have to stand up to them or our next step back will put us against a wall. Woman who stabbed classmate to please Slender Man files third release request. There's a documentary on her in this case. It's so fucking sad, her friend trusted her until the end. This was 10 years ago already. Wow, time flies. I thought it was like 4 years ago. I saw she was 22 and it blew my mind. It's not actually a request for release. It's essentially a demand, citing a state law that requires the judge, upon such a request, to appoint an expert to examine her and file a report with the court. It seems open and shut to me. The judge should follow the law, appoint an expert, and get a report. What comes after that depends on the report. Tale as old as time. Let they who have not been told to stab someone to please slender man cast the first stone. Oh, holy shit, I can't believe it's been 10 years and she is a grown woman now. I remember first reading this story vividly. Slender man told me her being separated from society would please him. NRA chief involved in gruesome cat killing as college fraternity member, NRA. Greater than the house cat was captured. Its paws were cut off, and was then strung up and set on fire. The killing, which occurred in December 1979, was allegedly prompted by anger that the cat was not using its litter box. Oh fuck, that's evil. Let's make sure his name and criminal record are clear in the comments. Doug Hamlin pleaded no contest to animal cruelty over 1979 incident in which fraternity cat was tortured and killed. Sheila Abbs Winter, who was named in a media report as the student who reported the incident to authorities at the time. You don't know how amazing this is to me. Because I am a member of Moms Demand Action, she said, referring to one of the most influential grassroots gun control advocacy groups in the country, which has proved to be a thorn in the side of the NRA. Winter said she remembered feeling threatened at the time for coming forward. Once a creep, always a creep, she said. Nope. Not going to read the details. Not this morning. I saw enough of an excerpt. This guy is a fucking psychopath. He was president of the chapter. Not a fucking chance the cat was killed without his direct involvement. And then after the police were involved he tried to cover it up. Greater than a cook who worked at the fraternity at the time and asked not to be named said he recalled speaking to police and never returning back to work because he feared reprisal. After it was disclosed that the police were investigating, a meeting was called, and the members were told to say nothing, not to cooperate, and not to, essentially, give up their brothers, the person told The Guardian. Asterisk, the man who kills the animals today is the man who kills the people who get in his way. Tomorrow, Dian Fossey, ISIS sex slave kidnapped aged 11 is rescued a decade later thanks to TikTok video. Greater than Seydu was just 11 when she was kidnapped by Islamic State fighters who stormed her home area of Sinjar in northern Iraq in August 2014, killing men and abducting thousands of young women and girls. Greater than taken to a slave market in Mosul. She was traded between different ISIS fighters and repeatedly raped. After a year she was moved to the Syrian city of Raqqa where she was married off to her third captor, a 24-year-old Palestinian from Gaza who she says also belonged to Hamas. Greater than, he told me that I had to sleep with him, she said in an interview with Kurdish TV channel Rudal. On the third day, he went to a pharmacy and bought a drug that numbs part of the body. He gave me the drug and I cried. Greater than, the following year she gave birth to a boy. Then some time later a daughter. Greater than, in late 2018 her captor was killed in fighting for the Islamic State, which was driven out of its last stronghold by Kurdish forces backed by a US-led coalition. Seydu was transferred to Al-Hol, a grim camp for ISIS wives in the desert of northeast Syria where as many as 100 Yazidi women still remain. Greater than, her captor's brother was also in ISIS and in 2020 he arranged to get her and the children out through Turkey to Egypt and through tunnels to Gaza. Desperate to escape the camp, and thinking her own family dead, she agreed. Greater than, but once in Rafah she says the family were so abusive, forcing her to clean and cook and regularly beating her, that at one point she took an overdose, ending up in hospital. Greater than, eventually, last September, She made the TikTok video asking someone to contact Nadia Murad, the Nobel Peace Prize-winning Yazidi activist. "Help me," she pleaded. "I'm really tired. It's not just their men. Their women and children also harass me. They might assault me, kill me. It's really overwhelming." Greater than, it was picked up by a Kurdish TV channel, which interviewed her. The story was seen by her mother, who had long assumed her daughter was dead. What this woman went through is horrifying, but it is not out of the ordinary for what Yazidi women have gone through over the past decade or more. https www.npr.org/series/735498202/life-after-ISIS-the-struggle-and-survival-of-Yazidis. https www.npr.org/series/735498202/life-after-ISIS-the-struggle-and-survival-of-Yazidis. https www.pbs.org/wgbh/frontline/article/yazidis-decade-after-ISIS-genocidal-campaign/ https www.pbs.org/wgbh/frontline/article/yazidis-decade-after-ISIS-genocidal-campaign/ https en.wikipedia.org/wiki/yazidi_genocide #violence_against_Yazidi_women_and_girls. https en.wikipedia.org/wiki/yazidi_genocide #violence_against_Yazidi_women_and_girls. There is an entire unit in the SDF made of Yazidi women. One of them was interviewed and she said, "We don't prisoners. We kill every ISIS member we come across." I'm kind of bothered by the claim she has Stockholm. She specifically reached out and pleaded for help, listing the abuse of the entire family as reasoning. That seems the complete opposite of Stockholm Syndrome. Unless there's much deeper, nuanced forms and I'm an idiot. It seems extremely disrespectful to what she went through to claim she sympathized with her captors. As a father of daughters, I just cannot imagine what would make someone treat girls this way. Not even women, which would be bad enough. Girls. Hamas, Islamic State, Hezbollah, Taliban, etc. are scum of the earth for their treatment of women. Asked about the thousands of Palestinian women and children being killed and wounded in Gaza in Israeli airstrikes, including a school hit just hours before we spoke, he replied, "There is a difference between Palestinians and foreigners, and between locals and someone sold to Hamas." The Jewish Schindler. He had rescued 140 Yazidi women and girls from ISIS captivity. I didn't know the slaves of Gaza existed. That is an amazing story with a bittersweet ending. Armed man arrested near Trump's California rally was plotting to kill him, police say. Miller was booked for possessing a loaded firearm and a high-capacity magazine, and was released after posting $5,000 bail. Police records show. Why would he be granted bail if he was trying to assassinate a president? It's like Bulworth as an episodic miniseries. Appears the guy was a Trump supporter that tried to pass off a fake VIP pass. So that prompted them to search the car and they found a gun. I don't think this was an assassination attempt. Just a dumbass. Well, it seems these particular police are lying sacks of shit. Not surprised. The FBI and the fact that they released him says otherwise. Police said Miller was carrying a loaded shotgun, handgun and high-capacity magazine, and is believed to be a member of a *right-wing anti-government organization. Bianco said Miller considers himself a so-called sovereign citizen. A group of people who do not believe they are subject to any government statutes unless they consent to them. This article was based on false information. The guy's Instagram is pro-Trump, anti-Harris, anti-woke, and is full of him proclaiming how much smarter he is than everyone else. They let him go on $5,000 bail because of all the minor crimes he so smartly committed.